What's up, everybody? Out here on a beautiful day. I got some sun in my face. Get out of the house. I work at home all the time, so I'm inside like so many hours of the day. So I just absolutely look forward every single day to getting out here and doing these walks. I don't get out every day for the walk, but when I do, I really try to share some awesome stuff with you guys. So today's message is my 3 tips that are going to allow you to achieve every goal that you ever set for yourself. Mr. Mark, good to see you, man. So basically, we have to break this down first of all. There's a lot of stuff out there about goal setting, and all of it is about the accomplishment of the end point. And this is where everyone fails immediately, because we try to set a goal that we simply have a vision of. We look at, okay, what would I like to have, be, or do, versus what can I do now? What are the factors that I can control? And so if we go into setting a goal with the vision being, I'm gonna get somewhere, or I'm gonna have something, we're almost lost in the beginning. So tip number 1 is, first of all, to change your definition of a goal. Okay? And this is what I'm teaching people that is really triggering them to be a lot more successful without actually teaching them anything new skill-wise. Okay? It's changing your mindset. So the very first tip is, look at a goal not as an endpoint or a destination or somewhere in the future. The goal needs to be a motivation for an inspiration for action. That's it. So the purpose of a goal is to get you pointed in a direction. The goal is not an achievement point. The goal is to inspire the first step that it will take to go in the direction of your vision. So your vision is not actually the goal. The goal is to be, do, and have more than where you are at in the moment. So we have to change the way that we perceive how we're going to be, do, or have something different than we are now. And the only way to do that is action. We have to do something different than what we've done up to this point to get a different result, right? The definition of insanity is repeating the same actions and expecting a different result. So if we look at this in the sense of goal setting, right? It's changing the definition of what our intention is and what we determine as successful, right? So this is step number 2, is changing your definition of success. If you set yourself up with a goal that I want to earn $1 million a year, and you go out and you earn $700,000 this year, and you said that I'm determining my success based on achieving the goal that I set. If you only earned $20,000 or $50,000 last year, and you earned $700,000 this year, but you didn't make $1 million, you succeeded, man. You did something that allowed you to have a different life than what you had before. You are having something different than where you were at previously, even though the original vision that you had for yourself wasn't actually where you got to. But here's the trick, guys. When we change the definition of a goal, Rosa Melcher, Marco, good to see you guys. When we change the definition of a goal from reaching an end point to initiating the starting point, what is the first action that I need to take? That's the win. Because guys, 90% of your success is going to be determined by things that you don't know when you first start. So if you set yourself up as, I want to get to this end point of reaching $1 million a year, but you've never earned $1 million a year, you have no idea what the path looks like. There's no way for you to know, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and I'm going to do the next thing and I'm going to get here. You can't write the path before you start walking on it. And every step that you take down that path allows you to see differently as to how you will get closer to that intended vision. So we have to change the definition of the goal. Then second step is have to change the definition of succeeding. If your definition of success is simply taking the first step towards what you envision in your head as the new acquisition, doing or having something more than now, you will never fail as long as you take step one. So the only goal that you have is to take the first step in the direction that you think, that you feel is going to take you towards the vision endpoint that you have. Okay, so success will come every single time you take a first step. After the first step, all you have to do is figure out the next step. You set a new goal for what that next step is, and you take that step. And you simply repeat that action over and over, and that becomes the path that you go down. You don't write the whole thing up front. You don't set a series of goals and then I'm going to know every single step of the way what's going to happen. Guys, that's not how life works. Okay? We don't get to make it all up in the first place and then just follow the check boxes. It doesn't work like that. So you have to first of all set yourself into a direction, a path that you would like to get started on. Determine your success as taking one step. Okay? And then the third step, understanding that you cannot fail. You cannot fail. And the reason is because you don't lose if you try. You either get to the intended point or you learn a way that doesn't get you there. Either way, you come out of an experience knowing more than you did if you had not taken that action. Whether it got you to that intended vision point or not, you either win some or you learn some. That's the phrase for number 3. Is rearranging that fear of failure and determining that the definition of failure is not reaching the intended vision point. That's incorrect. You're going to set yourself up for failure all the time because you can't determine whether or not you're going to get there. The only thing that you can control is, are you going to take an action or not? So if you determine that a goal is simply taking the first step in the action of trying to go in the direction that you want to go, in the intended vision path, step 2 is determining success. Gene, good to see you, man. Determining success as, did I take the step or not? And third, changing your mentality to eliminate the fear of failure, because failure doesn't exist. There is only, yes, I reached the thing, or I learned how not to reach the thing. Either way, you win. So, you guys have to break these things down. When we talk about goal setting, the terminology is what we get in our head. Jacqueline, good to see you. We make our own definitions of what a goal is, what success is, what failure is. And all we have to do to win is literally change the definitions of how we perceive those things. Goals inspire action. That's it. They are motivators to get you to take step 1. And then you start over. That's it. That's as far as you go. Because you don't control everything else. You only control your momentary action right now. So when you take step 1, you add to your pool of knowledge. And then you reevaluate and you say, okay, I took this step. Do I feel this got me closer to or farther away from where I think I'm going to end up, or what my better world looks like, or whatever that intended vision is? Stop calling it a goal as an endpoint. The goal is the first step, and that's the only thing that you ever focus on. You will never, ever fail. You take one step, reevaluate, set a new goal. Take one step, reevaluate, set a new goal. That's it. It's really, really simple. And if you understand every step gives you better knowledge, there's never a failure. All right? So hopefully this makes sense for you guys. This is the kind of stuff that I like to help people with a lot of times, is simply looking at things from a different angle. Even though I'm not actually giving you any skills or new knowledge, you have a different viewpoint of what a goal is, what the determination of success is, and the definition of failure that is causing you to not take action based on worrying about factors you don't control in your world. Guys, the whole purpose of life is to be happy. And if you live in a world of fear because I don't want to have a new experience, there's absolutely no way for you to seek happiness or even determine what you get as a joy. You only find out what makes you happy by having a whole bunch of experiences, and a lot of them being what doesn't make you happy. But you won't know if you don't try, right? So guys, all you have to do is understand, I'm taking a step. If I took the step, I achieved the goal. Because the action step, the acquisition of knowledge, that new experience, that's the only way we will ever have, be, or do more than what we are today, right? So I appreciate you guys. If this makes sense for you, leave a comment down below. Let me know, what you're feeling on this. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, because, man, we live in a world of information out here, and we got a few people hanging out with me today. I appreciate you spending some time with me, listening to me talk about some goals, and I'll see you guys next time.